welcome to the Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now, Demar has been arrested again. That's baby killer. She come out of the gleaner. Of course, I already used to get arrested. But I see come out of the gleaner. Let me say, let me refer to him as demon. But a Demar, baby killer. I'm pretty sure that pick is a PIA pick, you know, but I said them thing they go. Not mine. When me hear say the man ain't go for Demar, when me hear about them catch Demar, with Demar have the house with him. I'm surprised how the whole thing play out. We even have to inquire. Right, if are the greatest thrillers, right, go for Demar. Or most the greatest thrillers go for Demar. Them joke out the work. Team man move too jumpy. You see, when me realize, as of late, realize, too much TikTok and IG celebrities in IJCF. But all JDF too. Look like enough people are joining now. I just to build up them TikTok following, put on uniform and post. They on operation. I stress over how much likes them you get. Can't wait for the apps done. You don't want to sit down for 2, 3, 4 hours and make sure they think how it go. Right? You just want to hurry up and get back to their phone so them can see what going on TikTok. Right? Male and female squaddy. I'm saying for the female squaddy them. Right? I'm saying opposing thing. I'm a joke out the work. Right. Days gone by. Right. This is a different. Them are baby killer. I must say them are escape police a million times. Right. Go before the courts and escape the courts a million times. Literally escape jail. Man then cut through steel bar and gone about the business. So they're gonna put him in our next jail cell. Same can bust case again. Go back a road, go pile up murders. Demar is not your favorite 87 way. No. Just give him put him on a social intervention program and make him go get some 110 chicken for years and then you're going to see everything change. And by the way, Demar isn't broke. You know you think say 87 are some hungry starving news. One of the reasons why Demar can escape so much is because Demar always have money. And the money help him get out of enough situation. You think being able to rent a place, right, in a different community every 2-3 months cheap? 87s like them are why Iron Man. Right. Murder rate high. Any bad man place they go, any country go, I see high murder rate, you will see the phenomenon. It's a minority of 87s responsible for the majority of murders. I've been saying this ad nauseum now, they must be tired of hearing it. If you really want to significantly reduce murders, these 87s, the one them with the 5, 10, 15, 20, quote unquote, dopey on them name, remove them from the streets and their activities, murders will drop significantly. Tell me so lie me I tell. Did I not say, I don't even remember the video, but I'm sure I've said it multiple times that Iron Man, right, should be around 400 or some murders, 400 or 500 murders. People with a good memory, did I not say this? I'm going to run some match today using El Salvador numbers and show them how that turned out to be spookily accurate. I say 400 or some murders a year for Iron Man is realistic. Because our generation, the Iron Man people who are alive now, are, let's just be honest, it's too far gone. In Iron Man now going to be no 50, 100 murder a year country. Maybe our children's children might come to that. But as it stands right now, Iron Man can be a 400 or 500 most murder a year country. You see the domestic killings them. Still have the man and man catch up over this and that and man kill man. But the bulk of Ironman murders are gang killings, and those gang killings are carried out by a minority of 87s who are doing most of that gang killings. Given the analogy with football all the time. If you want Manchester City to score less goals, you stop Haaland, De Bruyne, Silva, right? You don't need to stop the whole team. You will see most of the goals come from a small minority of the players. So if you stop 3-4 players from any carry the team big, most of the goals them are come from a minority of the players then. If you stop them, the goals dry up, then can't win nothing. The same principle apply to badness. It's not 21 players on a team and all 21 are scoring 30 goals a season. Therefore, if you focus on the players that must score the most goals, or in this case, the 87s will kill the most people, murders will significantly decline. And the only way you can do that is to permanently take them off of the street. Not no, give them 18 months for no gun. Not no lock up, put them on remand for 6 months and back a road. Not no 5-year sentence. These killings are being done by 87s who are full-time murderers. Them that are jail are stressed over going back a road to go kill them witness. And the boy with them used to diss them while them that are jail. That type of 87. So, I'm going to show you El Salvador numbers, Ironman numbers, and I'm going to say we're going to reach back at the same 400 odd murders a year in the Ironman with me telling you about long before I saw this data. I'm going to use El Salvador. Come on. So El Salvador lock up less than 1% of the population and murders fell by 70%. So it's a minority of the country doing the majority of the murders. It's not all these El Salvadorian youths every year and are hunted for looking to kill more. It's a small minority of habitual killers who might kill over and over and over and over and over again. 1%, 70% of the murders. I'm telling you, if Ironman did have 3 million people hunting for scraps of food out of desperation, murders wouldn't be 1,400, would it? Let's use some common sense now. There's over 20,000 people in West Kingston alone. If 20,000 people did a hunted for look it and if you kill to survive, you'd have West Kingston alone commit more than 1,400 murders. Your leaders are slow. Or maybe you're slow, because when you met them telling you this foolishness. Jamaica does not have 20,000 new youth out there looking and that's why they have to kill people because they can't find another money, and if they have money, they will stop. It's 1,400 murders. Right. Jamaica leads the world in murder rate. Because countries have different populations, the only way you can come to a figure, right, that balance out things to make sense between countries with 50 million people and countries with 1 million is when you look at the rate. Ironman top the world in murder rate, the rate at which we murder. Per 100 king. El Salvador last year had 154 murders. Your ears is hearing. The esophagus is esophaging. Everything will work fine. Your brain now play tricks for you. That is the number. 154 murders in 2023. 2022, right? They are already blow Ironman out the waters when they had 495 murders. Any Jamaican Prime Minister who oversee a 495 murder year would have win the next 5 elections. He may stay in the office until his skin melt right into the wall. And not only did El Salvador do it, but then take it one step further and lower it down even more. You see, Many of your favorite leaders will probably rest on the 495. Apparently that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough for El Salvador. They went down even further, 154 murders. Let's put that in the context. St. James, just one parish now, Ironman, had 186 murders. And the whole of El Salvador had 154 last year. Winners find a way to win, and losers find a way to come up with a new excuse. El Salvador as a whole outperformed, in terms of getting a lower number, St. James. Mind you, the population of El Salvador is over 6 million. That means El Salvador's murder rate is now 2.4 per 100k. This is the same country that hit 100 per 100k. Unprecedented. So don't tell me it's Ironman crime can't fix. Because Ironman has never seen 100 per 100k. I think our worst years are like in the 60s. 60 something per 100k. El Salvador got 100 per 100k and now they're in 2.4. This now places El Salvador as second lowest murder rate in the whole of the region. El Salvador went from number 1 in the world to second lowest in the whole region. Then they're right upon the heels of Canada. Lower than the United States. El Salvador. So, make we use the 1% figure to Ironman. I'm saying we're going to take El Salvador numbers and apply it to Ironman. Because this can be repeated anyway. I'm going to show you how it makes sense. Just make sure you have the calculator in front of you. To remind you one last time, but they say 400. Ironman murder should be around 400, 500 the most. You can go back to old videos and dig them up. I said that before I had this data at hand. Look how we're going to reach them figures now. JCF numbers show, see that on your screen, 72% of murders gang related. That was 2021 and 2022. It's safe to assume this is the annual results because the gang them not going away. The same gang them fight the same war, the same 87s. So them say 72%. So 72% of Ironman murders gang related, a gang war. With the 87 I kill 87, or them I kill the sister of them 87, or them I kill the witness to them things in them case. Gang related, 70%. El Salvador got rid of their gang members and murders dropped 70%. Two different countries, the numbers are basically the same. So 1%, less than 1% of Ironman people are commit 70% of murders. If JCF was to suddenly take that 72%, the 87s who are committing that 72% of the murders were gang related, if all those 87s were to just magically come off of the road right now, that means that murders will drop 70%. Because if 70% of the murders are gang related, if the gangs were to suddenly disappear, then there'll be 70% less murders. Are you with me? I want to make sure you understand what I'm going on. 70% of the murders are gang related in Ironman every year. That means if the gangs were stopped, there would be 70% less murders. The same 70% figure with El Salvador. Let's do some maths. We're going to use the same 70%. Remember, a 72% JCF say, but I'm going to round it down just to be generous. 1,393, which is the amount of murders in Ironman last year, multiply by 0.70, which is how you put 70% in our calculator. The figure you get is 975. That means out of the 1,393 murders in Ironman, 975 were attributed to gang killings. And remember, this figure might be higher because sometimes them can't attribute, right, the killing. This is just what them know about and know so that title a warrior and that title a warrior. So the figure could be even higher. But we are working with the data what we can see. So 975 from 1,393 equal what? 418. I rest my case. Go back and listen to old videos. If you can find it, that even me remember which video I said. I've said it before. Ironman murder should be around 400, 500 the most. Once we get to the gang killings, that's what drive up Ironman murders. Using this 70% figure, you will see if you got rid of that 70% of murders, you land at 418. You can't make this up. You can't guess this. You think I was just lucky? Whether I say the Salvador or Ironman are the same thing. It's a minority of 87 is committing a majority of murders. This is why I'm telling you, say, if anti-gang did sort it out and them do them for do, if anti-gang did work with Klansman, with Black Man faction, Tesha faction, Termite faction, right, John Nation, you change to Wilson. If it did work out for work, Ironman murder rate will be well below 1,000. It is not impossible. It is far from impossible. It's either you and your leaders then can't do it or no one do it. 418. That's where Ironman murders realistically should be. For a country like Ironman right now, 400 odd murders. Our children might say 100 odd a year. Maybe 150 murder a year. But remember, Ironman is still a place where being done and like you is cool. People brag, say they're dark and ignorant. Right, that's a flex in Ironman. So you're still going to have murders, but that's about the gang killings and the over 1,000. This is how you stop it. Let me just say this. Ironman cannot mimic El Salvador methods for various reasons. One of the biggest of all is that Ironman people are simply not El Salvador. El Salvadoran people responded favorably to the extreme measures where the president take. I think Bukele, you pronounce him name. His approval rating go up to 80%. That is insane. Right. He is adored by the masses in El Salvador. Them love what he do. That wouldn't work in Ironman. The president of El Salvador is also very willing to piss off the entire international community. The Americans, the British, the Canadians, the French, he doesn't care. He only cares about, right, El Salvador people's opinion. That is not the Jamaican leader. That is not your favorite leader. No matter how them go on, like say, they're big on them part. When they look at international pressure drop on them, and the group from over here to start calling them and say, oh, what you do? They will buckle at the knees. The El Salvador people fully support the government extraordinary measures because they're basically using the El Salvador equivalent of an SOE and it's rolling. Right? Just rolling over and over. And they've even gone back to them legislation and adding extra measures what them can do. So that's how, right, them deal with MS-13, right? And Barrio and them big gang there. That wouldn't work in the army. For a start, we know the Jamaican masses are criminal sympathizers. Their actions prove this. And this applies whether from Cherry Guard and the Tivoli Guard. The Jamaican go somewhere and them nothing make a Jamaican appear and tell you about them bad man friend. And them bad man brother. And a Jamaican man will look at dead in the eye and tell you say, if you're not a good man, you can't get an eagle line. And a Jamaican man will tell you say, him now parody unless you kill it. Right. Enough Jamaican used to work at daytime fantasizing over 87 life. I don't shoot them not really have the stomach for murder they never kill. And they love badness. And if you think all them kerosene in an Ironman, whether them work in a surgical or not work at all, I go sit down and watch you scrape up them boyfriend, brothers and sons, you have a next thing coming. Them that black road from Negril to St. Thomas. And then the DJ them are gonna start for them nonsense. See the people them lock up them for no reason at all. They hate the youth them. Right? And then the quote-unquote human rights groups, which spookily enough, right, if you pay attention, you realize enough of them are founded and run by people who, right, aren't actually Jamaicans, but I guess, out of many one people. When all of this start tumble down, plus the international pressure, Humbre I go fall. Andrew Holness is not Nayib Bukele. He's not. To mimic El Salvador, Humbre would need to have humongous cojones to deal with the pressure we're going to drop on him. And nothing he's done so far has demonstrated, right, he possesses such cojones. Marky Joe, forget about it. I mean, this man is walking around in 2024, I tell you, say a social intervention and got murders. Good luck with that and good luck with him. So this is what I'm telling you, say, legislation improving the anti-gang is Iron Man's best bet. No, you can't go around and just kill off every 87. Even Bukele couldn't do that. The best solution for Iron Man is bringing the anti-gang up to a standard where it can actually be effective. Which, right now, it obviously isn't. You take down a gang as a whole. From the 90 to the 87, the kerosene, the squaddy links, the MP links, that's how you truly dismantle gangs in the network. Iron Man are ready for that. They purposely make anti-gang shaky. Because if anti-gang was to truly do it for do, then all some of the big wigs them only seen a suit and tie that get dry night. That's not how a gang function with us 90 and 87s. Go back and look at some of the old RICO cases when time Uncle Sam tackled the Costa Nostra, and you will see. You will see some of the people them who got drawn into the RICO. People who have never fired a shot in their life. People who were far from the badness. Right, but for them role help sustain Costa Nostra. Female work activist once said to me, then you can lock up more man for crime, then jail now go full up more. So what? Build more jails. That's the next thing Iron Man leaders are too afraid to say. Because they know say when them say, listen, we have to go build more jail, people are going to say, this is how Jamaican people go. They must build jail before they go build this and go build that. Right, then when somebody go there and say, boy, you're true, no one them saying, Jamaica needs more jail. This is how stupid these people are. They complain that jails are overcrowded. Then you say, right, you're going to build the next jail. And so we all build jail, but take the money build this. So which one is it? Should you keep piling up the same amount of man in the same jail them? Or do you build jail and make the jail them have more room and then people can get more quote unquote humane conditions? Which one is it? Jamaica needs more jail. A country will have so much 87. Right. If you're going to take them off of the road, you're going to need more jail. You can only pile up so much more man now and sell. This is what happens when people lead with their emotions. Because they're going to say, yo, the money we take, this is what I'm going to say, the money we take, build jail. Why don't we take the money there and build this instead? Shut up. That's how serious we have to get. Telling people to straight up be quiet. Jails are overcrowded, Iron Man need more jails. And you only use that logic for 87s because nobody said don't go after rapists because we don't want them woman to go to jail. Nobody knows that. Hey, female, sister, how about this? How about people say, yo, nobody go off on a rape a bully man cause jail full already. You know, you're gonna send more man go to jail. Nobody says that. Nobody says, yo, nobody go after no more pedophile cause jail done full already. Nobody says that. But when it comes down to the 87, all of a sudden, well, for those, nobody lock up no more money on man cause jail full already. Because that's the soft spot, the gunman. Because many of Jamaican men want to be 87s, want to be like 87s, and many of Jamaican females want to be with 87s. One of the few countries where women look at dead in the eye and tell us, say, a gunman alone makes she drop panty. And simp hear that, and say, no man, she don't mean it like that, bro. What she really wants is somebody like me who like respect and care for her, and she wants like a gentleman, but just too smart around like a joke and make her look at the abortion. She don't really mean that, bro. Get a grip of yourself, simp. You're all embarrassing. Simp, cope. We need to cope. Stop lying to yourself, bro, and face the reality of the society you live in. Yo, nobody go after the human trafficking network, dog, because there's like 2,000 man I run a human trafficking network, and if you stop them, then 2,000 man have to go to jail and jail for already. So nobody with the man, just left them and do what they do. That would be a ridiculous argument. But when you use it for 87s. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Yeah, you don't know more life. Vulture squad, stay circling. Bless.